What if I told you that your resume isn't just a boring list of jobs? What if it's actually a story? The story of your professional journey? Well, today we're going to figure out how to tell a really great one by taking a real-world example and breaking it all down. This is the million-dollar question, right? It's what separates a resume that gets a 2-second glance from one that actually sticks with someone. It's all about showing a journey of growth and impact, not just a random collection of jobs you've had. And honestly, the best way to learn this stuff is to see it in action. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to deconstruct a real resume piece by piece to find the blueprint for telling a powerful career story. Let's dig in and see what we can learn.
Okay, here's our game plan. We'll start with the big picture, the anatomy of a career. Then we'll zoom in on the specific skills of a master of federal systems. After that, we'll track the journey of the executive support expert and see the shift from admin to program lead. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with what this resume really teaches us.
First things first, let's look at the overall career. This is all about laying the foundation and building instant, undeniable credibility right from the get-go.
Right off the bat, this timeline tells a story of incredible focus. We're not looking at someone jumping from industry to industry. We're looking at over 15 years dedicated to really critical roles within the federal government. That's not job hopping, that's a career with a clear, deliberate purpose.
And would you look at this list of employers? We're talking about the NIH, the Department of Defense, the Air Force. I mean, these are heavy hitters. Working at any one of them is impressive, but having a track record across all of them, that just screams expertise and, maybe more importantly, trust.
So, how does this person prove they belong in these high-stakes environments? Well, it's one thing to work at these agencies, but it's a whole other thing to speak their unique language. This next part is all about the technical toolkit that proves you're a real insider.
Now, at first glance, this might look like a bunch of boring acronyms, but to anyone inside the U.S. government, this is a language. This list shows fluency in the specific, complex systems that make the government run. It's not just good with computers, it's deep, specialized knowledge that you can only get from the inside.
And to really get a sense of the stakes here, you have to understand ARPA-H. This is the government's high-risk, high-reward agency for breakthrough health research. We're talking about the absolute cutting edge. When you're supporting an organization like this, you're at the center of some really important work.
And this story gets even more interesting. The role wasn't just any contractor gig, it was a SETA contractor. And this is a huge deal. A SETA contractor isn't just there to file papers, they are an embedded expert who provides technical advice. This frames the role as a high-level advisor, not just an administrative assistant.
Okay, this brings us to the absolute heart of the story, the evolution from a support role to a strategic partner. This is where we can really see that upward climb in responsibility and impact.
Wow, just look at this. This slide sums up the entire journey in 2 little phrases. Back in 2013, a key task was ordering office supplies. Fast forward to today, and it's provide executive expertise to oversee the overall functioning of the office. That is not just a promotion. That's a total transformation.
A line like this is so revealing. It doesn't just say managed a calendar. It paints this vivid picture of being the calm, organized center of a hurricane. It tells you this person was the gatekeeper for senior leaders in a super dynamic, high-pressure world. It just screams control and resilience.
Now here's a really crucial point. This career isn't just about climbing one ladder. It's about building new ones. This next part of the story shows a deliberate move from administration into specialized program management, which adds a whole new layer of expertise.
I absolutely love this. Instead of just saying planned a conference, the resume walks you through the entire thing. Planning the agenda, handling 300 people, coordinating all the logistics, getting the materials ready. You see? That's not just support. That is end-to-end project management, plain and simple.
And here's another new ladder being built. This isn't just generic HR work. This is a deep dive into the very specific, very complex world of federal equal opportunity programs. Skills like complaint processing and barrier analysis are unique and super valuable specialization to have on top of that solid administrative core.
All right, so we've taken this entire career apart. Now let's put it back together and figure out the key lessons that we can all use to tell our own career stories a little better.
Okay, lesson number 1, and this is the big one. Show, don't just tell. What does that mean?
It means your resume shouldn't be a passive list of things you were supposed to do. It should be an active demonstration of things you actually accomplished.
Here's a perfect example. Literally anyone can write organized on their resume. But when you say you coordinated multi-day conference room bookings for in-service trainings, you're showing the context, the scale, and the purpose of your work. You've turned a vague skill into a real, tangible achievement.
And lesson number 2, quantify your impact. Numbers are your best friend when you're telling a story. They cut right through all the fluff and give people a real sense of the scale and importance of what you've done.
Remember that Air Force conference? Saying you handled conference registration is fine, it's a task. But saying you handled registration for 300 attendees? Now that's a serious logistical accomplishment. That one number, 300, completely changes how we see that task. It gives it weight.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question. Go take a fresh look at your own resume. After everything we've talked about, what story is it really telling? Is it just a list of jobs? Or is it a powerful story about your growth, your impact, and everything you've learned along the way?